Scream 7. This is the seventh movie in this horror franchise. As we see, Sidney Prescott has built a new life for herself in a quiet town of Pines Grove, Indiana, until a new Ghostface killer begins to target her daughter, Tatum, and force her to face her past and to end the killings once and for all. Hey, movie peeps, thanks for watching NibbleNFlix, the podcast for Snacks Me Cinema. I'm your host, Jeff Reed. In this video, we already know what you're talking about is Scream 7. Have you seen the movie yet? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. This will be a non-spoiler review. Also, give us a like on the channel so we get more eyes on the video, and also subscribe to the channel so you get notified when new content is uploaded. And the question is Scream 7 a bunch of nostalgia bait that actually is a total hit, or is it a complete disappointment?
Oh no! Oh no! No, no!
Let's talk about it. So I'm not the biggest Scream fan. I'm not the biggest fan of this franchise. However, I do love the first Scream movie, and I liked a lot of Scream 4. And that's because the combination of Wes Craven and also Kevin Williamson, who also is the original creator of the Scream franchise. And those movies work well for me. As I love how they were able to make a great script, very interesting script, build these characters up, and the cinematography and the way they shot the movie and how they built intensity and the kills and all that stuff with Wes Craven style. I thought that was really good. And the other films were basically like they were decent or they were just not good at all. And the ones that didn't work for me is the campiness, the bad acting sometimes, the unreveal of the killer sometimes doesn't make sense to me. And I was like, this is stupid and dumb. And it has that real campy feel sometimes. But when I found out they were doing Scream 7 coming off of Scream 5 and Scream 6, what I thought were pretty decent films, kind of worried a little bit once we saw all the set issues going on with this movie. There were, some people left the project and, they didn't really know who's going to direct this film. And they actually brought in Kevin Williamson. That kind of piqued my interest. I was like, okay, cool. They get in the guy that the two films I actually like. They're actually bringing him back to do this one, but they also said he was directing the film. And I was kind of worried about that because he also directed another film. I forgot the name of it, but it was so bad that they had to bring another director in to kind of finish it off and polish it up to make it at least watchable. So that was my only concern hearing about Kevin Williamson coming on and doing this film as a director. But this is basically his first time directing a full movie by himself with no one really watching his back. So I was kind of worried what they're going to do, but I also figured that he can write a very compelling, interesting story when it comes to the characters. He also bringing back some of the older characters as well. A little nostalgia bait when it comes to the film as well, trying to bring back some of those Scream fans and trying to build up the excitement for this film. So I was very interested to see what he's going to do. And the question was for me, where all this nostalgia bait, well, hopefully with a good story, will it actually work? The good about this film is the first third of the movie. I thought the first act of the film was really well. They just do a great job setting things up, setting the story, setting the characters, doing some kills in this movie, especially in the opening scene. I thought that was top notch, and also the wall scene. When it comes to setting up the character, and then that's Sidney Prescott, which is Neve Campbell's character, I thought they did a good job showing where she is today. She's far away. She's in Indiana. She's just trying to live her life, stay away from all this stuff because everything she was about when it comes to the killings is now commercialized, and just trying to live her life and basically raise her daughter and just be happy and stay away from all this crazy stuff. Even though she's still paranoid, she has a super locked down house. But when it comes to that, she is just trying to just basically live her life, and I like that. And then when it comes to the first scene in the movie and the kills and all stuff, I thought that was really good how they build the tension of that, how they slowly let you know that Ghostface is back and what they did in that scene. I thought that was a really good job and very interesting how they did the kills too in that scene as well. So everything started off pretty well in this film, and it really got me excited at the first third of the movie, watching this and thinking this might be a really good film. The performance in this movie, or I should say the lead of this movie, Neve Campbell, who comes back as Sidney Prescott, the OG of the Scream movies, she does a great job. And I can see why she held out for more money from the previous movie, because she is basically carrying this whole entire film. And you see why she's so important to this franchise, because she played this character for 30 years. She knows how to play Sidney, and she does a great job showing her in like a different phase in her life. And I thought that was really good. You see her, she's a mother now. She's married. She has a career. And I love the chemistry that she had with Isabel May, who played Tatum, Sidney's daughter. Thought that chemistry that they had was really good. Tatum is one of those stubborn teens, like always they play, but I thought the chemistry between them was really good because they broke down their relationship. You see why Sidney is so protective of Tatum, because her life has been absolutely horrible with these killings, and it's been commercialized to the point where she just wants to get away from that. She just can't, because is everywhere she go, people just talking about the killings, or people are making money off this stuff, and she just wants to live a nice, quiet life. And I love how Tatum arc is, well, in this film, they waited till too late for the film to actually flesh out her character. They waited till the third act to really do it. But I love how she's just a character who just wants to know what happened in the past. And she, essentially playing that stubborn teen, but I thought she portrayed that character very well. So you got all this goodness going on with this movie. You building up the story, you developing your characters pretty good. You got some gnarly, cool kills in the beginning of the film. And then the second act of the movie starts.
Oh no! We suck again!
The bad about this film is, while watching this, you can feel that first director just mistake after mistake after mistake. And unfortunately, this is the first movie Kevin Williamson has done, and you can feel it. Exact moment where you see it, where it happens in the movie, a certain character shows up, and it's like, oh man, here we go.
Here's the pitch. Oh, shit.
And you just have everything that you have with a first-time director. You have inconsistency when it comes to the story. You have pacing issues. You got some things that goes on with some characters that just don't make any sense, like them screaming in the middle of an empty street while Ghostface is coming after them, but they're trying to get help, but they're just standing there, not trying to run away. I know that's a trope for horror films, but it is stuff that they did that just makes absolutely no sense. You got some characters appearing and then disappearing, and then cameos, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I want to throw this in here and that in there. And just over and over again.
Yeah, I want to work in videos, but really I want to be my own star in the videos, because I want to become a pop singer and a rock singer and write my own songs, produce my own songs. And then I want to try an actress, because people tell me how talented I am. I'm a natural.
It gets to the point where it's like, can we focus on the story and these characters and these killings and do what this movie is supposed to be doing? No. Rights of this film really killed the momentum of this movie, and you can feel the tides turning for the worse, especially when they start introducing the legacy characters. I feel like they just brought them in just to bring them into the film so they can kind of just have them for, I guess, excitement's sake, for them to just be in the movie. And even when it comes to the other secondary characters, I feel like they were completely wasted. Like with the new teen group, they just do absolutely nothing to develop these characters at all. So when they go through like these tense situations where they're getting hunted down by Ghostface, and, some of them do get, killed off, it just feels like it was completely empty. It was just an empty kill. Yeah, the kills were kind of gnarly and gruesome and kind of cool, but there's really no feeling behind them at all, because you really don't know about these characters. They just did absolutely nothing to build these characters up, so there's some kind of feeling towards them when some of these get wiped out. And this inconsistency and underdevelopment continues with the legacy characters too. Like, how can you bring back one of the OGs in this franchise, where people are really excited to see that finally came back to the franchise, which is Courtney Gale? How do you have her come back where she's supposed to be playing basically a critical role in this film, trying to help Sidney try to get through this situation? And then out of nowhere, they just like completely just gloss over her and forgot about her in the film. And this is basically, she just disappeared. And there's some stuff about her in this movie that I was really interested to see what was going on with her, but they didn't even talk about that at all. They just basically just like completely forgot about that element of her character, which I think that would have played even more to her character development in this movie, and made the situation towards the end of the film even more interesting and have more impact of her character. And they just said, no, we're just not going to do that. And it just made absolutely no sense. Some of the actors in this movie felt like they were miscast or misused. And one of them was Josh McHale. And I'm just like, how do you waste him? And it just felt like the character he was playing, which was Sidney Prescott's husband in this film, it just didn't feel like he fit the role for this character at all. And that's not his fault. It's basically the script of the movie and how they wrote this character. It's basically useless in his whole entire film. Why are you watching this movie? Like, can you do anything? And also, they do something with him, and I'm like, towards the end of the film, and I'm just like, come on now, this please, just stop. This is really, stop. But that's how I felt about his character. I felt like he was completely wasted, and it sucks because he's such a great actor. I think they would have fleshed him out more. It probably would have been something more of a character that is basically, more memorable, but it's not at all. And when it comes to Kevin McGrace, like, what is going on with their agent? She needs to fire him because it feels like the last two movies, this one and also Friday Nights at Freddy 2, that she is completely useless and just there just to pick up a paycheck. Not saying that she's acting bad. It's just that they don't use her at all in these movies, and it just feels like a complete waste. And I feel bad for her because I think she's one of the upcoming rising stars in Hollywood. And the last couple of films I've seen her in, this felt like they just wanted to put her in the movie for whatever reason. And like the cameos of bringing all these legacy characters back, I felt like that was a complete waste. It was there just to have them in some silly scene. It doesn't really do anything at all. It doesn't build anything onto the story, nothing. They just put them in there to put in there. They do enough with Matthew Lillard, but I felt like what they were doing with him was stupid and dumb and just made him very a goofball rather than something that's menacing. And it just came to the point where it just felt like this movie just fell off the tracks and it just didn't know how to get back on. And that's what really honestly hurts the film. It's just too much stuff going on that is not really consistent. And it feels very choppy to the point where everything doesn't really align together, which it should, but it doesn't. And it's unfortunate because the things that they set up in the first act of the film really got things interesting and really got me excited watching this movie, even though I came in very speculating what this movie was going to be with all the issues offset. But the first act really got me excited. But throughout the film, it just like they just lost what they were doing in the first act, and they just wanted to just do crowd-pleasing stuff rather than have a story that actually makes sense. The unveil of the killer is probably the most predictable and lamest and dumbest thing they ever gave in any of these Scream movies. And I thought Scream 6 was the worst one, what they did with the killer and the reasoning for that film. No, this one takes the cake of being the worst in this franchise. It just felt like they had no fresh, good ideas, and it just didn't make any sense when it comes to these killers. These killers are supposed to be attached to whoever they come after, which is Sidney in this film. And it was like, really? That's why you're mad at her? Bruh, that's on you. It came off like cheap TV network, like Up All Night on USA.
Hi, I'm Rhonda Shear, host of USA Up All Night.
And I'm Gilbert Gottfried, host of USA Up All Night.
Type of vibes, kind of reveal and reasoning. Like, if you ever watched that, how bad those films were back in the 80s, you understand what I'm trying to say. That's how bad this reasoning and reveal was in this movie. I just can't believe no one did quality control on this and say, hey, that's trash. The final score and the snack worthiness of this film, I'll have to give it 1 snack out of 5. Overall, I'm highly disappointed in this film, especially how the movie started off in the first act. And when the second act starts, it just goes downhill and it gets worse and worse. And I'm just watching this movie, just hoping it ends soon. That's basically how I felt about this movie. You always know when there's a red flag where they don't do any advanced screening. There was no advanced screenings at all for this movie. I think they only did it in LA and possibly in New York. And you know that's a red flag, and then they hold a review embargo till basically the day before. And also they had the premiere the day before, too, that the movie was released on Thursday. That's just letting you know this movie's not good at all. And it turned out that was the reason why they held back on this. And, if you're a Scream fan, I'm sorry. I'm, bashing on this film. I wish I would have enjoyed it. I just feel like, I know how you feel when it comes to some of these films. I'm a DC guy, and when DC movies come out and they suck,
it's trash.
Not trying to tell people, no, it's good, man, it's good. It's not. But I definitely understand how to feel. But if you're not a Scream fan at all, and you're still interested in just watch this film, I say just wait, pass on going to the movie theaters. Wait for it to come on streaming. Rather, it's going to be on Paramount Plus or HBO. We'll talk about that in another video. But man, if this is what I have to look for at WB movies in the future.
Dear Lord, that's the loudest profanity I've ever heard.
And thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you taking out your time throughout your day to watch this video. please give us a like to get us more views on this video, and also subscribe to the channel so you get notified when new content is up on the channel. And we appreciate it again, you being here. And as always, keep watching good or bad or terrible movies, but always keep it real. And I see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.